Hey, it's Jason. I'm here with the 2016 Land Rover Range Rover Sport, and I have a light on the dash, an engine light, and I'm going to go ahead and hook up and see what's going on. This is a 2016 with only 66,000 miles. We do not drive it much. It is my wife's car. We drive the L322 when we go on long trips. So, typical Land Rover, right? Low mileage, hardly driven. And we're getting lights. So let's take a peek, see what it is. So to diagnose this, I'm going to use the Launch Jag Land Rover reader. I've used this on the L322 quite a bit. But you basically are just going to hook it into the OBD-II port down below. I'm going to put it in there nice and secure. So it's in there, it's not going anywhere. And then you can start the car and read everything. So I'm in the 2016. And you can see once all these clear, we got the light coming on. It's, I guess, what's that, the service engine light versus the major issue light. I don't remember what all of them look like anymore. But hooking up this runs an Android platform, which is nice. I'm going to say diagnostics for Land Rover. And I'm going to go ahead and let it connect. And it will pull the VIN and everything. And looks like I might have some updates. So if I have updates, I'm going to pause and let these updates run. But it's going to load all the information here. So it read the VIN. It knows it's a Range Rover Sport, an L494 2016. It is correct. So I can say yes. And I'm going to go ahead and let this, let this run and diagnose what the issue could be. It's running a report. I'm getting a fault right now, it looks like. This is going to run basically everything and see if there's a fault code. If there's not, it will say no fault code, or if it's not equipped. Instantly it pulled one though, but I'm going to let it go ahead and finish before I scroll up and actually review what it is. The one thing I do love about this reader, I know the battery is pulling 14.8 volts, so it's reading. So we got an ECM issue, System 2 lean, windshield wiper park switch, communication link. All of these typically happen, some touchscreen issue. So the big issue here is, and I don't think it's an issue, it's the P2189 and P2187 System 2 lean. And that is probably an O2 sensor. I can click report here, and it's going to give me exactly what I need. System 2 lean at idle, System 2 lean bank 2. Typical Land Rover issue. So what this code means is the P2189, it's 2 lean at idle. And what that means is the air to fuel mixture, it's getting too much air and not enough fuel. Usually this is a sensor that's gone bad, like the oxygen sensor. It could be a gas cap. So what I'm going to do, because this bad boy had gas put in it, I'm going to see if the old fuel gas cap. This is the first thing I do when I get these. And look at that. And it looks like it's on. It is awfully loose, my friends. It did not have the clicking I would like. So let's see. That could have been part of the issue. I doubt it. But that could be part of the issue. So I'm going to share this report. That's one of the things I love about this reader. I can click share, and I can actually email it to my customer, being me, and I can review this on my computer. So the net is, this is not some issue where I'm like, hey, Amber, my wife, don't drive the car. This is probably going to be me clearing it, seeing if that gas cap helped, and seeing if she pops back up with driving, and document how many miles until it pops back up. And then it's probably going to go into the shop and get a sensor, because I frankly don't want to fiddle with it or have time. So that is the issue we're having here on the old Land Rover L494, which is a 2016 Land Rover Range Rover Sport. Keep on cruising, my friends, but this is an example of why, if you have a Land Rover, get yourself a proper reader. Because if you don't know what that is, you could be up at night thinking you have a big pricey issue. You don't drive the car, you take it into the dealership, or you take it into an indie shop, they read it, so on and so forth. I'm going to kind of measure how frequently it comes back, and then I'll go ahead and plan to get that sensor replaced and go from there. It's Jason. So just to give you the final result of what happened with this 2016 Land Rover Range Rover, I did not do this repair myself. Frankly, what I thought it wasn't. I didn't even attempt to do it. I could have, but it's my wife's car. I wanted her to have plenty of time, and I actually had a business trip scheduled, so I didn't have the ability to do it before she needed the car, and I didn't want to just continue to drive it with that light coming on. But again, this is the 2016 Land Rover we've been talking about, and it was the PCV valve. We needed a replacement kit for it. It's basically like a diaphragm or a cap. It's a cap with a spring under it, and it's used to regulate and release fumes and monitor, kind of create like a vacuum to get those fumes and direct them out of the crankcase. I don't know all of the details of it, but I know at a high level that's what it does. And I actually didn't know these things typically fell around 50,000 miles. This has, I guess, 67,000 miles on it or so, and I guess it lived its life, but it's a small plastic kit. You can buy it for $44 and just unscrew it and screw it back on. I didn't know that was the issue. They did a smoke test on the car and a bunch of other things and discovered it. So I paid them like an hour of labor, and then for the actual kit itself, which was like $44. The good news is I have a good shop, a good independent Land Rover shop that I do like to send a lot of business to when I don't want to fiddle with stuff, especially on this one, because I don't like it to have any downtime if my wife is driving it. Let's take a peek and I'll show you what it is and where it's at, and maybe you just do it yourself. It's totally up to you. But this is what the error code was. Now you know what the issue was. Hopefully this will help you. Let's take a quick peek. Okay, so I have the car in the garage here because this is a daily driver for my wife. And this is a 2016, again, Land Rover Range Rover Sport. It's the V6 supercharged. And when you think about what's going on here, I thought it was like an O2 sensor or something. But again, it's the PCV valve. It looks like a plastic cap. Look at the engine. You can see this guy here. Follow it straight back. And it is that cap right in there. Now, it looks like you could probably fiddle that off pretty easily. And, maybe that pipe above it could be challenging. But that's what it is. If you have the ability to do it yourself, save the labor cost. These folks are a really good independent shop. Hunt Valley Euro Car in Hunt Valley, Maryland. I really like them. And I send them as much business as I can because I think it's important. And I love what they do for the Land Rover community. But in any event, that is the guy right there. I'm going to go ahead and put my finger on it. So just to avoid any confusion, this cap right here. I'm flashing up some images of the kit and everything that you would need. $44 part. That was given the engine codes. That ultimately fixed our issue. And I hope you found this a bit helpful. And that will give you some guidance as to what to look for if you're getting this error code and check engine light on your 2016 Land Rover Range Rover Sport. Be sure to give me a subscribe. It means a lot. Have a great day, and we'll talk soon.